Hello, model railroaders. It's Dave. Well, we're not quite at the layout yet, but I just wanted to give you a shot of here's our first good snowfall here in southern Ontario. It's building up. We're looking at, I think about 4 inches today. So yeah, not great. Even under the protected porch, we got a couple inches of snow built up on the rails. So let's go in where it's warm back down to the layout, shall we? Back in a moment. And we're back to a massive pink foam. Okay, I just wanted to show you what I did as far as dealing with the power. So just slitting in the back of the foam and mating up the 2 leads and then adding the 3rd one that runs to the outside, and they're set, so they're about half an inch, sorry, a 1/4 inch in the 1/2 inch foam. So that's the one that leads to the logging run. So this is that corner when it's flipped the opposite way over. This is the middle section where the 3 leads all come together, the 3 parallel tracks, and then again just a slit. And this one I'm not sure how long, so I'm going to leave it a little long. I can't remember if it can eventually join up with this lead set or if it's going to have its own, so leaving it long gives me that flexibility for the moment. And then down here, and there's the notch from the gradient up onto the foam. And then again, the 2 leads coming in off the turnout, going into the 3rd, and the 1 lead coming down through. And just so that you understand what I was talking about, that is the tool I was referring to in the previous video for putting in screens, the screen gasket in door screens or window screens. So one end is kind of rounded. I don't know if it's got a bit of a bevel on it, where the other end has a groove in it. And that's all I did. I just set the groove on the wire and pushed it in, similar to, I can get it to go in just like that. So that is the extent of it. So this particular piece is now completely wired in, and I'll give you a shot of the other side so you can see. So there's the one turnout there. There are the 3 lead sets being dropped for the parallel lines, and then up in that corner is the turnout that comes off the logging run. So we'll get this over and stuck in and continue securing the track down, and be one step closer to getting some trains running on it. So back in a moment. And we're back. Now I just wanted to show how I dealt with the removal of this particular foam section. So I've got it notched here for this riser, which is glued to this particular section, because there's our dividing line. This has just been moved to the right to get it out of the way. So this section can't shove down before it can be moved up, so it has to be pulled directly up to release this section, and then the whole section can come out. But that track is going to be sucked down with the tape to the joint about here. So that's going to be impossible for this to rise up and come out that way. So we have to deal with it of pulling it out from the other end. Now on this joint we've got the three crossover pieces of 5 and whatever inches that it is. That's the standard Atlas straight track sections that I'm using to bridge that gap. Now up here I had to modify what I had originally done, and this bit of track here had this little bit of tape here, so I had to kind of pry these up, these ties up, and get a blade in and cut that tape, because this block here is removable, and that was just the way it was easiest to do, cutting the foam. So what I did was I removed a tie out here on this curved track and slid these ties back so that I would have enough room to slide the rail joiner all the way onto this curved piece. Of course, in doing so, I ended up breaking loose some of the ties, so I just used that piece of 2A tape and I just stuck it under there to hold that down, which I broke loose. So to get this foam section out, first I need to slide these two rail joiners back into this piece, which is not secured to this bit of riser. Then I can tilt this piece up and pull it loose from the rail joiners here, because this turnout is crossing over a bridge point, or bridging the gap between the two bench sections. It is not secured. So I've got some wiggle room for it, so there is no tape running from here all the way to here. So if I had to, that could be removed. I shouldn't need to though. Once these rail joiners are slid back, I should be able to tilt this piece of 1/2 inch foam up enough to be able to move it to the left to release those joiners. And as I said, because this isn't joined down, lifting this corner up, there'll be some flex here that will allow me to do that. So once that is out and these are out, and they're done the same way with a tie removed and the ends pushed in on each side to allow the rail joiners to be slid into that bit of Atlas track section. So once that's done, then this end of the foam, this section of foam, can be lifted up and slid over enough to clear this bit of track that will extend over up to the turnout here. So these type of things, when you're dealing with eventually removable pieces of foam on hard bench top, that needs to be thought of, or down the road once everything's scenic, you're going to have a real hard time. You're going to have to actually cut track to get it to come out without destroying some of the work. And I've been trying to bring that forethought to mind because I want to plan long term. So 10 years from now, I get tired of this scene, but I don't want to throw it away. I don't want to trash all the work and money and materials that have been invested in building the scene, which of course you don't see through the view, or I'm not seeing through the viewfinder, but I'm seeing it in my imagination what it can become. And for the cost of $10 in foam plus the track, which would be costly, I can replace 16 feet of my layout with a whole new diorama track section and keep this one. It can just be stored and swapped out. And I want to try to do that with the buildings as well, where I can have two buildings with the same base footprint and be able to remove the building mini diorama from a siding and then drop a completely different building diorama into that same siding footprint and give that a whole new industry for whatever rail cars it would need to be serving that business. So it's those kinds of flexibilities that if you think of them ahead of time and you can build it in as you progress with the building of your layout, that 10 years down the road you've got great flexibility later on. So I'm going to quit yapping and get back to getting this track down, because my goal is by end of day is to have it completely wired and at a minimum a cleaning car running over it to make sure I've got no bad power connections. So I will get back to work and be back with you a little bit later, but just a moment for you. Bye for now. Hello Model Railroaders, it's Dave, and we're back. It's a day later, but we're back. On the positive side, I finally found my Rix picks, decoupler picks. They were buried on my desk or debris collector, whichever you may want to find it. I found them while looking for my little ballast spreader, because what I'm going to do is put some the Woodland Scenic Spine ballast down on wherever I've got the two-way tape, just so that lint and stuff like that is not going to be sticking to that two-way tape. So I've gone over the track with the track cleaning brush, and now I've just got my cleaning car set up is doing the rounds, so I promised I would bring you back for the first run of anything over the line, and we'll just wait for that to cycle around. So I'll put them up here out of the way for now. So I did go ahead and put the buildings back where I kind of figured I want them. A Quonset hut as a supply building for the logging run train, the little station house that will be my bar mills building. There's my car making its run back. Another manufacturing building for that short spur line, transfer building for that little section, and then the transformer to have some work to do on that building, but That's where will be my transformer manufacturing setup there. Down here on this side, I just have to throw a turnout in a bit, so we'll head back down here. Lumber wholesaler set up. I think that's a good location for it. Not solidified on the building layout, but that will work good there. And I don't know if the woods furniture is going to end up being here, or I'll eventually put in the Red Wing milling, which has that kind of a footprint. I'm kind of thinking that the woods may be better served on the turnout I've got down at that end by the sorry, I'm just going to throw this turnout so we can get it rolling around. And let's make sure that that one is going straight, and I've got that one set to take it up, and we'll just do a straight through. Oh, yep, straight through, come down, straight through, straight through, straight through, back down, and that's set. Okay, so we're all set. I don't know if I'll move the woods furniture over to more towards the city area or not. We'll have to see how that goes. But I did run a Microtrains flat car over all the joints last night in the turnouts. I got one turnout I'm not a little very happy with, but at the slow speed it'll have no issues. The points have a little bit of a bow, upward bow to them, so that's not the greatest, and nice and no stalls over the turnout, so everything's good. Now I've got to run back here to the controller, sorry for the fast, because I need to switch the direction, and I'm going to have to unplug the controller. Oh, doing things live and in one take. And then I can plug in here. Okay, so let's push that up. That's going straight. And we'll push that way and that way, and it'll head back on out. Okay. And good. So I'm just going to bring that down, switch my direction, and I want to bring it back up through there, so that will bring it down through the storage siding, well, I guess I'll call it. Well, I wonder what the issue is there. No, that may be a little tight on that turnout. It didn't like that very much. It looks straight enough. Now it could just be the four-wheel truck on that DDX unit that it's not liking. Because it seems to be struggling until it goes straight. So, I'll have to run another loco over that. Because I did also check for continuity on the lines, and I wasn't getting any electrical issues. But there you go. First time you run something through, you get to experience all the minor issues with things as they occur. So I wonder what's going on with this set of points. Let's see where it actually stalls out on the point, because it sounded like the vacuum car was cutting out first. So the vacuum car should still be going. It's almost as if I'm bridging somehow, but if I was having a dead short, of course it wouldn't be running at all, because it would shut the base station down. So I know I don't have a dead short for a wiring faux pas. So definitely have to take a look at what's going on in this turnout. Curious and curiouser. Well, we'll flip it to run straight through, because there's not an issue on the one down here. Now the only difference is this is a brand new Pico turnout here. And that went through fine. So, interesting. I wonder, I'll have to check the points on that turnout. to see. It looks like it's an insel frog turnout, so that shouldn't be a problem. So do I have a, and the bend looks like it's shallow enough coming off the turnout. Well, I'll do some running off camera and then throw a little update blurb on as to what I had to do to clear that up. Whoa! Lost a, did a derailment somewhere along the line. What did I do? To, no, those points are correctly aligned. Shouldn't have had a derailment. There's the reason. Didn't check all the turnouts. Oh well. At this point, it's a little awkward holding the camera and running the controller. So I'm going to get this sorted out and back in a moment for you. And we're back, and I just wanted to finish the earlier thought that I wasn't able to complete. I was referring to this curved turnout here in regards to what to do with the placement of that wood's furniture, because I want to run the turnout out, but I'm going to predominantly do a city scene in this little corner. So my thought is to either go more straightish down through this area and put a building, but that means the track would be prototypically sandwiched, but it wouldn't be a good visual sight line, and reaching in over to decouple, though it may make an interesting operational challenge. So we'll have to kind of see whether it would be more beneficial having the track from that curved turnout running down here, or following the line down here and ending somewhere in this area where you can see more easily see the back of the building, but the front would be projecting out into the city scene. So something to think about in regards to that last turnout there, and the similar in a way is this turnout here that will come down, and I'm thinking of that turnout servicing the feed mill and granary, as I want this to be a more rural setting as it transitions into the more mountainous area. So a little bit of thought still pending on where to actually run those turnouts, like with the would I run the other one to bring it down to this area and leave that more as the transition to the mountain, and then this would be more rural with some houses around it on this side of the river. So a little bit of thoughts here and there as to what to do and what to place where, that haven't quite been worked out yet. But I just wanted to finish that thought that I started in the previous clip. So now to still sort out what's going on with that turnout. So back in a little bit. Okay, so what seems to be happening is the rail car seems to be, or maintenance car, since it's got a motor, it's the easiest to determine what's going on. It appears as soon as the wheels hit the tip of the frog here, even though this is an insulated turnout here, that I'm thinking there's a little bit of bridging going on as the wheels. That's what I'm trying to capture now. Is it only seems when right there. So I'm hoping that's captured. Because once that lead wheel goes onto the plastic, everything comes on again, and then it cuts out there, and I do get my my breaker coming on at that point. So it should do the same thing as each wheel hits that, and it breaker's on. And then it should do it again on the last wheel. And the breaker's on. So it looks like I've got some bridging going on from the... Now, going straight through, let's see if it does it there as well. Though, camera-wise, it won't show anything because it's on my end. But it's not doing it. When it's going, oh. No, that wasn't, it wasn't cutting out due to, because my breaker's not coming on. So in this instance, it's not touching, but I'm wondering if it's a little close. And what I believe is occurring, well, that could have even been the light touching. I'm going to swing you around. What I believe is going on is, let me get a Rick's pick quickly as a pointer. Since it's not happening on the front, it would appear that this rail here is just slightly higher. So when the wheel set is traveling across this rail, it's actually touching that upper, or the one going straight through on the frog. But when it's going straight through, it's lifted up enough that it's not touching the rail going off to the right. So let me swing around and hopefully I can focus in on it. And get a better look from this side. It's these interesting little things that happen that maybe will help somebody else troubleshoot down. So this rail here is low, this one is high. I'm going to bring the camera more horizontal and see if I can zoom in without it going all wacky on me. Okay. So you can see that little glint right there is the far rail, and this is the close rail. So see if I can bring it down. So that glint is the far rail. So I think I'm just going to have to put a little bit of nail polish or something on that far rail, or sand it down a little bit so that the wheel flange is not picking it up. Interesting. I've never encountered that before on a frog. So, oops, sorry, wrong way. So there you go. Issue sorted out. So I think I'll end this video set for now. First time I've ran trains all summer, so perhaps I'll grab some footage of some run-bys as the day progresses and I've got time to enjoy the layout. So hope you're able to enjoy your layout on this colder day, at least here in southern Ontario. The snow's still with us, but it's just above 0 Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit, so it's starting to melt away. So hope you get a chance to do something with your layout today like I am with mine. So till the next video, bye for now.